seconds to make sure we're truly live. So today we will practice Ecuadorian Jiu-Jitsu.
Like in the jungles of Ecuador, fighting cheetahs.
They don't have cheetahs. Okay. What's up, guys? Welcome to another live episode of Roll with the Fox. So today I have a topic, but before I go in there, let's talk about what we're trying to accomplish. Guys, comment if the audio is good or bad. If it's really bad, then let me know. Again, if you stop playing with your mustache.
And if it's really good,
that's good too. Yeah, because once it's up, because it's live, we cannot enhance it. So if you comment now, if it's poor, then we can tweak it. But if it's not, then we can't do anything with it afterwards. You can enhance a pre-recorded video, but you can't enhance live one. So, interestingly enough, so I'm teaching today in Saddlebrook, and I usually do fundamental class. Not today. Did I say today? Tuesday. All right. If you stop playing with your, I will be much more on. So on Tuesday, I'm teaching fundamental class. I think I got 25, 30 people there. And I'm teaching escape from the gift wrap. And then the advanced class starts. There's 50 plus people on the mat. Some are 2-stripe white belts. And I'm teaching K-guard leg lock entries and sort of follow-ups and kind of subtleties of that. And then just kind of hit me, and I asked my class the question. You had the same thing, right? You're teaching, so Enrique is a big fan of Estima lock, to the point where they may change the name to Enrique lock. And he's done well with it in comps, and same thing, he's teaching Estima lock. And again, I asked the same question up here in Butler. Hey guys, who knows Estima lock? Who knows how to escape a gift wrap? Your priorities are screwed up. If you do not know how to escape gift wrap, but you do know Estima lock, or you know some finer points of K-guard entries into pendejo guard, your priorities are screwed up, because guess what, guys? Which position are you more likely to be in when you're training live?
if you're attacking the submission,
chances are you're not going to be attacking. You're going to be gift wrapped. All right? So, guys, again, be strategic in your approach to training. Don't just kind of like, ooh, this is cool. Guess what? You will not see that probably for the next 3 years. It's not going to become a reliable submission for you to go to. But escape from gift wrap will probably help you now, and it will help you in 10 years. So again, try to be think about where you are. So if you're a 2-stripe or 3-stripe white belt and you just got, you can just go to advanced classes and you go 5 times a week, do not go to 5 advanced classes a week. Go to 4 fundamental and 2 or 4 fundamental and 1 advanced, or 3 fundamental and 2 advanced. You need to make sure that you have a good foundation in your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu before you attempt to fly to the moon. So, without further ado, gift wrap. So when you gift wrap, so there's a couple of things that I need to do, right? So notice my positioning. So right now I'm in a horrible position. It could potentially get worse. And the way it would get worse is that if Enrique steps over. So that's why I'm keeping my right leg up and my hand sort of here. So I'm doubling up. So there's not a lot of space, but enough. So once I put my hand there, he can no longer step over. Yeah. So from here, you don't want to, again, there's 2 strategies. So I know basically, especially with the gi, Enrique has 2 primary attacks. Yeah, go ahead. So, go ahead. Bow and arrow choke. I know that he's going to fall backwards, or armbar. So I know either one of them that what the attacks are, and you can wait for the guy to make a mistake. Actually attack the submission and make a mistake. That's a good strategy if your training partner or the opponent on top is a relatively inexperienced person, because high probability they'll make a mistake and you ride up on top. If the guy is really good, that's not a good strategy because you're in a bad position, it's going to get worse. So again, he either has an arm bar, generally speaking, from that position without much movement, or bow and arrow choke. But it's better to sort of, rather than wait for things to potentially get worse and hoping that the guy screws it up, is to actually actively escape. So notice how I'm opening my legs. The reason for that is because I want to get my body positioning in this direction. Okay? So if I try to get to my knees here, I'm still going to be somewhat lined up with Enrique. So I want to make sure that I open up my legs to make sure that when I get my knee, so my left knee hopefully is going to be roughly here, my right is going to be here. That's going to give me a way better chance of escape. So from here, once I scissor my legs and I continue to try to get my body, my butt, as far away from here as possible. From here, I will get an underhook and I will continue to drive. Even if he has this hand, it's relatively easy for me to get rid of that grip. Okay? Now,
I thought kind of the same on Thursday.
you did.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike. Because what we realize, that some of our students just, they need fundamentals, they need escapes, they need basic jiu-jitsu, not sort of like, hey guys, look at this. This works really well at the highest level of jiu-jitsu in the finals. Hopefully, in 12 years they may be there, but right now they're not. So be careful when you get that underhook. You need to get that underhook to make sure he does not try to counter your movement. But just be careful. Some guys, if you do that to me, I will actually fold and go split guard immediately. Mm-hmm. So let's look at it again. So again, I'm blocking. If right now my legs are open for the escape, but if I feel him any movement whatsoever, I'll bring up my leg a little bit higher. Again, there's still a gap, so I try to block that with my hand. So from here, I will scissor my legs, continue to move, get the underhook, and then continue to drive. Enrique still holds on to the Kimura grip, so I can just sort of straighten it out. So even if he, hold on. So even if he does hold on because my leg is on top of it, it's hard for him to take it. And from here, once I change the angle, I can take it away from him. So that's the gift wrap escape before it gets worse.
Would you still do that if the opponent outweighs you by like 50 pounds? Because one of the guys finds himself getting stuck when he's trying to come out.
You may want to speak up. Just make sure they can hear your question.
If your opponent is 50 pounds heavier than you, would you still do that?
Yeah, I still want to get away.
I am 50 pounds heavier. He still just did it.
Because he keeps getting stuck underneath.
Yeah, here's the reality. So why don't you play like a super goon? The reality is with big guys, there's just so much weight to move. But I'm not moving that weight. I'm trying to get my hips away from his control, which now changes the angle of my arm positioning, and my neck is no longer available for the attack. Now I have to only worry about Kimura. So instead of worrying about the position and two possible quick submissions, I basically eliminate some of those possibilities from his arsenal by doing this. If you go with somebody heavy, be ready that their mass may stop you. So even though technically they're not better than Enrique, because they have greater mass, they can stop your escape. However, that usually opens up other escapes. So let's go over that. Like let's just super good.
I'm ready.
So again, the guy is super big. He starts to. So now I'm a little stuck. to get unstuck, I need to sort of start to go back. Once he put his head on the floor, I have more options. If I just lift my butt, he's going to fall off. And again, I need to worry about, go ahead, hold on to the Kimura. The Kimura, if he holds on, he's super strong, guys. I just punched the second arm through. That is the ultimate defense against Kimura. If you cannot break the Kimura grip, punch the second arm through. That is going to significantly enhance your possible escapes. But again, especially if somebody's bigger, you need to move. Move. Do not wait for him to make a mistake, because that pressure and everything, it just keeps closing up. You know, do not wait to move, especially in training. You have to move. That's what creates the openings and possibility of escape. The more you sit there, especially if the guy is big, that the windows just keep closing up, and then eventually just sometimes people just tap to the pressure.
Said, thank you, makes sense. We did have a question about guard retention.
Okay.
He keeps, from open guard, he keeps getting put back on his back. So any tips for guard retention?
All right. Let's go. Yes. So I want to go over the gift wrap when the guy steps over, before we go to guard retention. Yeah, so this time he screwed up. So a lot of times I know what I'm going to try to do is slip the elbow if I can. So notice that I'm threatening. So that leg positioning against is threatening that it strips the. Right now that hook has became less dangerous than before. But most importantly, what I'm looking to do as he's going backwards, I need to slip my head. So don't just pull, and don't just slip it with your body movement. You have to do both. I'm not relying on either one. I'm relying on both of them. So usually if the guy steps over, he's going to try to take my back. So I know he's going to. One of the things, when you're in a very bad position, usually there is sort of one very strong submission or two very strong submissions. So what you need to do, and you already know which way he's going to be moving. So if you initiate that movement a split second before he does, it sort of gets you back. So if you're 2 steps behind, you're just now behind a step and a half. So you now sort of get a little bit closer to the escape. So if I feel like the guy steps over, I know he's going to take my back. So if he does, I'm looking to slip my head, but at the same time, my hand. I will deal with this after. So you have to sort of quickly prioritize. What is the sequences? What is the most immediate threats? And then strip them one by one. The most immediate threat there is that is the bow and arrow choke. That is the most immediate threat. I know once he steps the leg over, so at that point, once he steps over, he still has a couple of possibilities. Kind of back take if I go to my knees. He has an arm bar, and he has a baseball bat. I love baseball bat choke. That's why I probably bow and arrow choke. So rather than leave him with 3 possibilities, I basically say, okay, 1. So 1 is a lot easier to defend than 3. So I almost put myself, I'm going to decide for you what you're going to hit me with, because that is your best chance to escape. And then initiate that sequence before he chose it. Does that make sense? Because that's a big defensive strategy sort of aspect, is choose the submission and initiate, not just choose it, but initiate it before he chose it. So that way now he's almost, even though positionally he's dominant, he's almost now chasing, like a half a step behind. So if you wind up in a lot of trouble, he has an arm bar, he can take my back. So rather than doing that, especially with the gi, so I can try to, but I immediately, so I start to lift myself up. So rather than wait here, like, okay, now he forces the back take, yeah. So I'm laying on my back is on Enrique's left leg, so he cannot move that. So I keep my back on his legs for a split second longer, knowing that he cannot do the back take the way he intended right off the bat. So the only logical armbar is not going to happen because you're not going to bring that leg over, and he cannot close up the space here with his right leg. So the only logical choice he has is a bow and arrow choke. So as he's going for that, I'm out. So again, that's a viable strategy, especially not just in this position, pretty much across the board. If you're in a bad position and the guy's got 3 options, choose one that's easiest to escape, and choose it and initiate before he does. So let's go to guard retention.
Like I said, when he gets foot on his back.
Yeah. So when you so immediately you need to engage your legs. So if you're on your back, you temporarily lost the ability to sort of have your hand grips be, and immediately start to off balance him. Once you, so one of the most important things, so we drill guard retention, we drill, like create egg beaters and just. So the last one, I actually added, this is my guard retention. So when you drilling guard retention, don't just drill putting him back in guard. That's inadequate. I think one of the most important aspects, we drill this in schools, in the academies, guard retention, how to put him back in guard. That sucks as a strategy. Because eventually, just let's eliminate sort of if 2 guys are of equal skill, who is going to win that battle? The top guy. Who's going to get more tired? Who has gravity against them? The bottom guy it's more effort to recover guard than it does to attack. So, if your strategy is to just recover guard, you will lose that battle unless you're significantly better than the other guy. So what I'd encourage you to do, which is what I just did before, do not just train recover guard retention. So next time you're drilling, don't just recover guard as superior guard, superior grips, and use them immediately. That is your key to victory. Sounds like I should be on the battlefield.
Commentating.
This is your key to victory. So I'm going to actually demonstrate, but you saw like the 3 times I just keep recovering. At some point, I'm going to get tired. Even if everything else is equal. Okay? However, once I get superior grips and use them, he's off balance. I go after him. Now, it's no longer about guard recovery. Now he has to recover base. That gives you an opportunity to attack with a sweep or submission. So that's one of the reasons why I love split guard, because once I recover guard, I try to put myself in a superior guard. Open guard or closed guard are sort of by default sort of just like a guard, but they're not that good. You need to, and it could be, it's subject to what your game is about. Some guys like butterfly guard, some guys like De La Riva. I'm partial to split or perpendicular guards. Once I establish those, I immediately go into offensive. I do like, a lot of times I also use De La Riva to put myself, use De La Riva to put myself into split guard, or with a gatame attacks, which is part of split guard. So I'm going to go again, guard retention, but as soon as I recover guard, I need to sort of start to get good superior grips and use them to off balance and then attack, sweep, or submission. So let's do that. Now, Enrique is on the run. So this This is where, like, I immediately attack. Yeah. Am I even recovering guard at this point? Or am I just attacking?
This defense is a good offense.
And just like that, we're out of time. So Enrique, tomorrow you're in Fury Grappling.
Yes.
Where is it going to be on?
UFC Fight Pass.
UFC Fight Pass.
Yes.
I'll be there.
Yeah, it starts at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I am the fourth match on the main card. So around 9:15ish, I'll say.
We'll be watching.
Yes.
I might be watching
I'll be watching. too.
Taza versus Varela too. Enrique, yeah, go. Anyways,
You're celebrating. I just lost. You're like, yes.
all right, Oliver, good job. Oh shit, what happened over here? Anyways, guys, we're out of time. Share, like, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and a few other places. We'll see you next week.